for economic reasons, for environmental reasons, for health reasons. There's no better way to subsidize folks' spending than to help them get an e-bike.
It's sort of a cash for clunkers program, and that one is specifically trying to make up for the equity problems that we've had with some of the other programs.
So, is anybody going door to door telling people about this?
Nope. You should do that.
Yeah. Bike Talk on KPFK live stream with Nick Richert and yours truly, Don Ward, co-hosts. So we got Melanie Curry from Streetsblog California and Dave Snyder from CalBike.
I've always fantasized that we could start the show with news.
We could talk about the LADOT. What was it? The LADOT initiative to tell the state of California to repeal the 85th percentile law.
You're skeptical.
I think it's a good thing. It's just that they have paraded around neighborhood councils for the last 10 years, mind-bending people into agreeing to vote to increase speed limits everywhere in the city of Los Angeles. So we've had like 100 miles of speed limit increases, I think, even in the last 2 years. And it just seems disingenuous or like a waste of time. Like other small cities in California under this law are not raising their speed limits. They're engineering for safer streets. So I don't know, the LADOT claims to have their hands tied by this policy and they have to do it. But I'm looking at Burbank. Burbank hasn't raised its speed limits dramatically that I've seen. I still see 35 mile per hour speed limits on roads designed basically the same as the way the LADOT does it. So I don't know. I just feel like it's disingenuous and they're just spinning their wheels, but good stuff. And what they can do right now is change their policy to re-engineering streets where people speed on them. If there's a speeding problem, re-engineer the street, narrow the lanes, add buffered bike lanes, do what you got to do, bulb outs, all that stuff. You could do it. They could do it right now, but they're going to, I guess, spend the next couple years lobbying the state of California to try to get rid of the 85th percentile. I mean,
well, they also are lobbying for, are going to lobby once this is expected to pass the city council in Sacramento for automated speed enforcement. Are you also
I like that,
skeptical
like
about
speed
that?
cameras. I think that's good. Dave, what do you think about that? Melanie, what do you guys think? Yeah,
I think that's overdue. But the problem with both of those things is that they focus on enforcement, which is exactly what you were saying, Dawn. Like, come on. I mean, enforcement has its problems. And if that's going to be their focus, that's how they're going to solve problems. It's not going to work.
Right. It's like putting somebody in a race car, these cars that they put on the roads now, 200, 300, 400, 500 horsepower. Put them in a race car, put them on a street that's designed like a raceway, and then tell them to drive slow.
Yeah.
I think it's really sad when I think about the way that they've redesigned streets to allow more cars to go quicker, always with the idea that that was for safety, or that was what they claimed. I can think of one in particular in Balboa Boulevard in the neighborhood where I grew up. It started off really, I'm old enough to remember when it was really narrow. It was a 2-lane road, and then they widened it. And at this point they have eliminated all parking. So it's 6 lanes and it's a feeder to the freeway. And there's no reason for that. This is a residential street where people drive like it's a highway, and you don't want to be on it. It's just really sad. They don't need to do that. And now we're paying the consequences.
We want the parking to be removed, right? I thought.
Well, if you remove the parking to create another lane for traffic, all that does is encourage more traffic. I mean, if you remove the parking and put in a nice bike facility, that would be great. That would be a much better use of that extra lane and on the traffic. But if it is just to speed up traffic, no, it's not good for anybody.
Go to the next news item.
This is going to be the one. You can't possibly have a negative spin on e-bikes.
Not at all. I used to be,
but it's silly.
I used to be a hater, but I've come around to actually agree that e-bikes it's like e-bikes, scooters, anything but cars. Just reduce the size of the transportation mode, and e-bikes fulfill that promise, right, Dave? We're going to talk about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, the Najari Smith in Rich City Rides refers to them as low speed, low impact vehicles, and low cost, low impact vehicles, things that are accessible to everyone, scooters, e-bikes, regular bikes. It's a nice way to categorize that stuff. It's not a car.
So what's on the e-bike front here? Do we have some?
So much.
Give us the lowdown.
Well, the most exciting thing is statewide. Tasha Boerner Horvath from Oceanside, Assembly member, introduced AB 117. That's a bill that would provide incentives. We're calling them stimulus payments for Californians to get more e-bikes. The idea is that for economic reasons, for environmental reasons, for health reasons, there's no better way to subsidize folks' spending than to help them get an e-bike. We've spent $1 billion in the last 10 years help people get e-cars, and not a penny to help people get e-bikes.
Yeah, what's that about?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, literally, what is that about? That I guess they just never thought of it. There's not a rationale or anything.
No, I'll tell you what the e-car rebates are about. It's the power of the automobile industry. It's true that we have to replace our gas motor vehicle fleet with electric vehicles. That's a fact. And so it's a good idea to do what we can to accomplish that. But the idea of spending $1 billion to give people money to buy an electric car, only about a quarter of which have probably resulted in people getting an electric car who otherwise would have gotten a gas car. Like probably most of that money went to people who would have gotten a different electric car, or who wouldn't have gotten a car at all, or would have gotten the same car, but they just saved some money on it, thanks to taxpayers. So we've spent all of this money on the automobile industry. It's in part to mollify that industry. When Schwarzenegger signed AB 32 way back when to set goals for greenhouse gas emissions and establish the cap and trade system to put what are taxes on cars and fuels, the automobile industry was mollified a little bit by being assured that a good amount of those taxes would pour back into the automobile industry to help people buy cars. So it's really about preserving the automobility, and it's not about equity for sure, and it's barely about sustainability.
Melanie's
what's the average cost of an e-bike? I mean, that $1 billion.
That's a hard question to answer. You can retrofit your own bike on the cheap for a few $100, right? Like less than $1,000. You can get a little e-motor and retrofit it cheaply. It won't be a great bike though. If you want a very good electric bike that is new and quality parts that'll last you for a while, it'll cost you $2,000 at least, right around there, 2 to 4.
I mean, compared to a car, I mean, I've looked into electric vehicles. They're usually about $30,000, even for the little Fiat.
Oh, that's
like
the cheapest one.
$30,000 or something.
Yeah. No,
Yeah. So 10 e-bikes or one car.
One of the things that we want to do with our bill, just to get back to that, is we want to make sure that the funds, not as much as possible. We want to make sure that the funds go mostly to low-income people who otherwise couldn't afford an electric bike. We want to do way better than they did with the electric car rebates. We want to make sure that most of the money goes to folks who wouldn't have gotten an electric bike otherwise, and therefore will experience a degree of mobility that will be unprecedented for them, and experience some economic savings that will make a big difference in their lives. It'll be a real equity program. It'll be a real environmental program if we focus it that way. Some of the money surely will go to people who would have bought electric bikes anyway. But we want to make sure that's a small amount and not most of it.
And isn't there a study showing that just having an e-bike automatically replaces car trips? Because you don't even have to educate somebody to do that.
I mean, automatically, sure. I've looked at a lot of studies, or rather I've looked at studies that have looked at a lot of studies, and the results are all over the place. The lowest estimate of the number of trips that number of car trips that e-bikes replace is 25%, which is pretty low. But the highest 75%. And if you look at all the studies and you take the average, it's probably about somewhere close to half of e-bike trips that people take would have been car trips otherwise. And so half the miles would have been car miles. So it's pretty substantial, the amount of savings that we can get in terms of greenhouse gas emissions and in terms of traffic, and the amount of miles that people will actually ride their bikes.
And just to jump in on that, I think even at the low end, 25% is a lot. If you take, the short trips that people make, if even 25% of those short trips could be replaced with something like an e-bike, it would make a tremendous difference in greenhouse gas emissions and traffic congestion. I mean, a lot of things could be improved with a relatively small change.
Yeah, 25%. That's a big number, I think. I mean, 75% is, stratospheric, but.
Well, and that's the other thing.
You all have an electric bike?
I've ridden one. I'm a convert because I've tried it out.
I'm waiting for the incentive. That's what I'm waiting for.
I'm waiting until I'm 80, when I will definitely need one.
I don't know, Nick. You're like a radio personality. You must be.
I asked for one. They didn't give it.
You must be making bank. I don't think you're.
I asked Extra Cycle to just give me one, and they said they'd give me like 10% off or something, 20% off actually. But it's still too much until that incentive comes out.
Right.
When are we getting it?
Well, it's a long haul. There's two prongs to the campaign. One is AB 117, which is the bill that will create the program. The other is the budget process that will be necessary to fund the program. We're asking for $10 million, which will subsidize at least 1,000 bikes, probably, or at least 10,000 bikes rather, and probably more. And
wait. How much for 10,000 bikes? 10 million for 10,000 bikes?
10 million, yeah, it's $1,000 a bike.
Okay.
Right, 100, yeah.
I think everybody should get an e-bike with their stimulus check.
Yeah, well, they did that in France. That was one of the things that the stimulus did with the COVID. They gave people 5 it was Italy or France, one or the other, I forget which. One of those countries gave people, as part of the stimulus during the COVID lockdown, I think a $300 or $500 discount on a bicycle, any bicycle, not just an electric bike. And the other one gave people vouchers for bike repair at their bike shop.
Those are older civilizations.
They were, they were serious about helping people switch to bikes during the pandemic.
Wow. And then what would happen? I mean, what did happen? Do you know? Like on the streets?
All over the world, bike riding has increased. I mean, we've seen it here, but it's all over the world. It's pretty exciting.
Melanie, are we turning this into an article?
Everything is a potential article.
Okay. What would make it more like article worthy? Like what? How
controversial?
Should we Don, tell him why e-bikes?
There's got to be some drama.
What the downside is?
The downside to e-bikes? Yeah. There's really no downside to e-bikes. I mean, there should be a subsidy for just plain bicycles too, but
there's
e-bikes is good.
There is a federal bill for giving people tax credits for commuting by bike, something they introduced last year, I think 2 years ago, last year.
During the last administration? Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've tried for a while. Oh, what?
No, it was it was during the last administration, but it was the Democratic Congress that put it into the transportation bill. And it was really just to restore the very same benefit that had existed, decades earlier, thanks to Earl Blumenauer, that the Republicans took out in their tax reform bill in 2018. The tax code allows employers to pay for their employees' parking up to more than $500 a month without it being taxed, and allows them to pay for their employees' transit up to a certain amount, and had allowed for them to pay for their employees' bike commuting up to $20 a month. And the Republicans felt it necessary to cut the bike commute subsidy. They kept the transit and the parking subsidy, but for some reason, it was just necessary to cut the bike subsidy.
Wait, are they on the wrong side of literally everything?
Well, we know it wasn't costing them anything, for sure.
Hey, the National Bike Summit is coming up.
When? In March?
March 3rd. And we are lobbying for the two big things that we want to see in, I could go on and on. Let's say there are three big things. There is the e-bike tax rebate that you were just talking about, Melanie. Was that it? Or were you talking about the commuter incentive? Because
there's two things happening.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I better back up. There is in Congress a proposal to provide a tax incentive, a tax rebate for people who buy electric bikes. And then there is also a proposal to allow employers to pay for their employees' commute costs with tax-free subsidy. And both of those things are different than what's probably more important, which is the reauthorization of the federal transportation bill. They do that every 5 or 6 years. They spell out the priorities for spending out of the transportation budget. And fortunately, the last one expired just last year. And so we're able to rewrite it with a Democratic Congress and a Democratic Senate. And so we have a better chance to get something good out of it. That's going to be the focus of the National Bike Summit. We have a couple of big asks out of that bill. One is to double the size of the Transportation Alternatives Program. That's the federal program that's like our active transportation program. It's the federal pot of money that funds bike and ped stuff, and in fact funds part of our active transportation program. And the other one is to fund a new program that will give large grants to communities that want to build complete bike networks, networks that connect all of the destinations in your community, including through the difficult intersections, including through the couple of blocks of street where there's businesses that don't want to lose the parking, and what's absolutely necessary to really make it feasible for people to ride bikes. Because as you know, how many times have you ridden on a bike lane and you're a lot of going on? Oh, this is pretty, it could be better, but it's okay. I can deal. I can bring my partner out here. I can bring my kids out here, and then all of a sudden you get to this one block and for some reason or other, the bike lane disappears. And there's no way to get from here to there without traversing this frightful situation. And that kind of stuff needs to stop, and we need to have some kind of incentive to encourage mayors to complete their networks and have the courage to put the pieces together. And we got nothing right now, nothing that does that. And this is a federal program that would do that. It would provide. We're asking for 250 million. No, we're asking for, I think it's 250 million a year for 5 years. Maybe it's 500 million a year for 5 years. Anyway, we're asking for 10 times more than what they're currently proposing.
So when you say we, you mean like the bike lobby? The
bike lobby, the all-powerful bicycle lobby. Yeah.
Oh, I think, Don, you have their shirt, right?
The all-powerful bicycle? No, I
don't have their shirt?
No.
I was going to get it.
You should get one. Come on. I've got one. Hey, I'm not wearing it, but I've got one.
Hey, before I go, I got to ask about Kelly. Where is she? She's not on your show anymore? Kelly Morris?
Oh, Kelly. I don't know. It's been 2 years.
Oh, has it? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. It's a rotating cast of people here, except Don. He's been here since 2010, on and off. Not really.
On and off.
His first appearance was 2010. It's worth a lot if you can sell it.
Nick, you've been a rock the entire time.
Thanks, Don.
Yeah, no, I've told you this before. Thanks for doing this show for so long. There's like a huge archive with really great guests. So I'm stoked to be on it.
How long have you been doing it?
Since 2008. I mean, that's impressive in itself, right? That's pretty much something.
It also shows you how much there is to talk about once you start talking about bikes.
It never stops. If it had stopped, I would have stopped. What do you feel? Do you feel that we have covered this topic? So there's a federal and a state, and there's probably other states are having it. E-bike vouchers or what?
That's funny because I was just looking at that.
States?
I was just looking at that, and no. And in fact, California right now is only starting to get a statewide incentive for buying e-bikes. So this is all to come. Right now there is one that the Bay Area is just rolling out through the Air Resources Board, actually through the local air quality management district. And the South Coast one, which covers like a broad swath of LA, is making its program, but hasn't finished it, hasn't decided, and has no money in it yet. That's all from Dave's bill, SB 400, which put e-bikes as an allowed alternative to getting an electric car in the program called Clean Cars for All, which is income-based, equity-based. So if you qualify by income and you're in the right place, you have to live in a disadvantaged community, you can get $7,500 for an e-bike.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. So you could buy 2 e-bikes or e-bikes and helmets and whatever else you want to go with your e-bike. Oh, and if you have any left over, you can put that into transit too. If by turning you turn in an old gas guzzling car, So it's sort of a cash for clunkers program. And that one is specifically trying to make up for the equity problems that we've had with some of the other programs.
So, is anybody going door to door telling people about this? Because people probably don't know.
Nope. You should do that. They're just formulating the programs now, and it would be really good to let people know about them, because that, if they haven't said this, but my impression is that the air quality management districts are not going to push it very hard, and may not, they say that they could give away their money immediately to people who want to buy cars, because there's such a demand for it, and they don't know what the demand is for e-bikes, but they don't know what the demand is for e-bikes because this has not been available yet. So we need to let them know what the demand is.
All right, let's do that. That could be your next one of your next articles. How many articles do you like? What's your rate of?
I'm supposed to be doing something near daily, but I don't hit that mark.
Well,
5 a week is kind of a lot.
And they're like really thoroughly. I don't know if they're all like that, but the one you did on Laura Friedman would have taken me probably longer than a week.
That was fun. That was just her talking. I just repeated what she said.
Dave's got to go, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna put in the chat a link to our article that talked about different ways to get financial help to get an e-bike. It's mostly tongue-in-cheek because there aren't very many.
Does it say 4 ways?
Yeah, but some of them are like, oops, that would be a way, but it doesn't work because the program expired.
Is there at least one way?
Well, do you live in San Diego County?
Not actually.
Do you live in Contra Costa County?
No.
Did you live in Humboldt County a couple of years ago and buy an e-bike?
Let me think. No.
Then no.
So it's thanks for that link. It's a funny article.
It talks about the slow rollout of SB 400's voucher program. The Bay Area Air Quality Management District is the first one. I think, as Melanie just said, and there's a lot.
I just put up a link to mine.
We'll join them.
Okay, cool. Is yours tongue in cheek, Melanie?
No, it's just depressed. No, it's not really. No, it was just about what I was just describing about how they're slowly rolling out the programs. Not fast enough. There's way more demand. We all want e-bikes. We want everyone else to have e-bikes, and got to make it happen. And thanks to Dave for making this. It took a while to get this going, and yay, Dave.
It was Linda Kamushian. I just talk about stuff. Everyone else does the great work.
But the work's getting done. All right, Don, take us out.
All right.
Thanks for inviting me on. Let's do
this. Yeah, Dave, thanks for the update, man. We always love having you on the show. So
invite me again.
Yeah, we'll look forward to more updates.
Yeah, thank you.
In the next, what's the timeline looking like? Do you think that we get to something here?
Just buy it.
Just get the bike. Don't wait for the incentive.
Yeah. Okay.
Realistically, it'll be a couple of years, right? Because they, if the bill passes and it's funded this year, which isn't a sure thing, then they'll have to start the program. They'll probably, get it rolling out by next year in 2022. And the grants or vouchers or whatever probably won't be available until the end of 2022 or 2023 at the earliest. So
okay,
really
that's good to know.
I won't be 80 yet, so that's actually okay.
Yeah, what's for your timeline?
All right, thanks a lot, Dave. We appreciate you coming on. Dave Snyder from CalBike.org.
Nice seeing you, Dave.
And
yeah, nice to see you, Melanie.
I'm going to take off too.
And
very nice.
Oh, Melanie's taking off too. Melanie from Streetsblog California. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it's a very high-level panel that we had, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's all we do here is high-level shit. But this was particularly high level. So
Good
I
night.
obviously have
All right,
to listen
thanks,
to more
Melanie.
of your things. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
I rise in the morning and greet the day. Pull out the bike and I'm on my way. And transportation shows I care. Every turn of the pedal cleans the air. Greener than green, I'm saving the planet. Just like my friends Dale, Sean, Toby, and Janet. No greenhouse gas, a tiny carbon footprint up your ass. I'm on a motherfucking bike. I'm on a motherfucking bike.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Bike Talk. If you want to hear more, go to kpfk.org, navigate to programs, and choose Bike Talk. On the Bike Talk page, click on the archives link to play or download shows posted in the last 4 months. Go to biketalk.com and copy or click on the RSS link to subscribe. Our Twitter handle is BikeTalkPFK. On Facebook, we are Bike Talk. You can become friends and join our group.